All right. Word problem involving rate and time conversion. A car travels at an average speed of 52 miles per hour. How long does it take to travel 221 miles? Now, some people can read these and know if they should multiply or divide, because that's what you're going to do is multiply or divide. Sometimes you might have trouble figuring out which ones you can do. So in order to set the problem up, you can do it as a proportion. This says a car travels at an average speed of 52 miles per hour, which means 52 miles in 1 hour, right? I go 52 miles in 1 hour. We want to know how long it takes to go 221 miles. Since my miles are on top here, I would want the 221 miles on top here, and I'm finding how many hours it's going to take me to do that. Right? We did some proportions in that review section. So in order to solve a proportion, we cross multiply. This would give me 52x equals 1 times 221, which is 221. And you can see, oh, in order to solve that, I end up dividing. Now when you divide these ones, they're not going to come out to nice whole numbers. Divide that out for me. What do you get?
4.25.
4.25. That's 4.25 hours, but the question wants to know how many hours and how many minutes.
4 hours and 15 minutes.
Exactly. 4 hours and 15 minutes, because 0.25 is a fourth, right, of 60. If you think of your clock, well, you think of the clock back in the olden days. There's my clock. So 0.25 is the same thing as a fourth. That's 15 minutes, right? 15. 0.5 is the same thing as a half. That's 30 minutes. 0.75 is 3/4, which is 45 minutes. And then, of course, you're up at 1, which is your hour. So my conversion, if I had to do it, would be to take that 0.25 times 60, because there's 60 minutes in an hour. And if you take 0.25 or a fourth of 60, you get 15 minutes. But if you know them well enough, well, that was easy. She knew 0.25 was 15 minutes already.
I did. Time sheet.
Ah, there you go. A copy machine makes 28 copies per minute. How many copies does it make in 5 minutes and 45 seconds? So again, if I set up a proportion, 28 copies in 1 minute. We want to know how many copies, and here's the spot. I've got 5 minutes and 45 seconds, so I want to change that 45 seconds into a decimal. So I'm going to use 5.75. 45 minutes and 45 seconds is still in the 60, but what I could do is take 45 out of 60. 45 divided by 60 is 0.75. So we're going to use 5.75 here. So I changed my 45 seconds into a part of a minute. And now in order to solve that, I'm just going to multiply, right? 1 times x is x, so all I have to do is take 28 times 5.75. When I cross multiply, 1 times x is x, and then I got to do the 28 times the 5.75. Right, if I do 28 copies in 1 minute, if I'm going to find out how many copies in 5 minutes, I would have to times by 5. In this case, we're doing 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So 28 times 5.75 gives me
161.
161 copies. So 28 copies in 1 minute, 161 copies in 5 minutes and 45 seconds. So number 9 says a car travels 276 miles in 5 hours and 45 minutes. How many miles does it travel per hour? So my proportion, 276 miles in, and how am I going to write 5 hours and 45 minutes? 5.75, right?
Yep.
So 5.75, that's hours. We want to know how many miles per hour. Per hour means in how many hours?
One.
In 1 hour. So we would say 5.75x equals 276. And guess what? We end up dividing. So if you take 276 and you divide it by 5.75, you get
48.
48.
Yeah.
So I went 48 miles per hour. I went 276 miles in 5 hours and 45 minutes. I'm going 48 miles an hour. Now the other ones, these ones were all hours, minutes, and seconds, is your day. Just going to find a different marker, but I'll use this black one. If I think about a day, a fourth of a day, 0.25 or 1/4. How many hours are in a day?
364.
In a day.
Oh, what am I? That's a year.
How many hours are in a day?
24.
24. So a fourth of a day would be how many hours?
6.
6. A half of a day would be 12, and 3/4 of a day would be
18.
18. So if they're talking about hours and days, then you want to think of it like this. Minutes and seconds, those are normal ones. But every once in a while they'll throw in with hours and days in there.
Let me write that down.
0.5 is a half, 0.75 is 3/4. So a fourth of a day.